bear cub follows a hiker, and the reason will leave you in tears. In a small mountain town nestled between towering pines and the whispering winds of the wilderness, a young boy named Jasper Harlow spent his days dreaming of adventure. At just 12 years old, Jasper was an imaginative soul with a heart full of curiosity and a head filled with stories of brave explorers and daring quests. He often wandered the trails that wound through the majestic forests surrounding his home, seeking solace in nature while escaping the troubles of his life. His mother, Clara, was a single parent who worked long hours at the local diner, leaving Jasper to navigate his world largely on his own. One crisp autumn morning, with the sun spilling golden light across the landscape, Jasper set out for his favorite hiking trail. He had a small backpack filled with snacks, a worn-out notebook for sketching, and a sense of anticipation that made his heart race. The air was fragrant with the scent of pine and damp earth, and the leaves crunched beneath his sneakers as he made his way deeper into the forest. As he trekked along the familiar path, Jasper felt a sense of freedom wash over him. He loved the way the trees swayed gently in the breeze, their branches whispering secrets he longed to understand. But today was different. Today, he felt as if something extraordinary was about to happen. Lost in his thoughts, Jasper paused to admire a particularly beautiful view of the valley below. Just as he pulled out his sketchbook, a rustling sound caught his attention. He turned and his heart skipped a beat. Emerging from the underbrush was a small bear cub, its fur a rich, dark brown, and its eyes wide with curiosity. Jasper had heard stories of bears in the area but had never seen one up close. The cub seemed just as surprised to see him. It paused, tilting its head to one side, as if trying to gauge whether Jasper was a friend or foe. Jasper felt a rush of excitement mixed with fear. He knew he should back away, but something about the cub's innocent demeanor held him in place. "Hey there, little guy," Jasper whispered, his voice barely above a hush. The cub took a hesitant step forward, then another, its nose twitching as it sniffed the air. Jasper felt an overwhelming urge to reach out, to connect with this creature that seemed so vulnerable and alone. In that moment, a bond was formed, a silent understanding between boy and bear. Jasper crouched down, making himself smaller, and extended his hand. "It's okay. I won't hurt you." To his amazement, the cub took another step closer, its dark eyes sparkling with trust. Jasper's heart swelled with joy. He had heard tales of the wild, of the dangers that lurked in the shadows. But standing before him was a creature that embodied innocence and wonder. Little did Jasper know, this encounter would change the course of his life. What began as a simple hike would soon evolve into an adventure filled with bravery, companionship, and an emotional journey that would leave him, and the cub, forever changed. As the sun began to dip lower in the sky, casting long shadows across the forest floor, Jasper made a decision. "I'll call you Milo," he said softly, watching as the cub's curiosity grew. "Let's explore together." With that, Jasper and Milo set off deeper into the woods, unaware of the challenges that lay ahead. The bond they were forging would be tested in ways neither could foresee, but for now, they were simply two souls wandering the wilderness, united by a shared sense of adventure. As Jasper and Milo ventured deeper into the forest, the world around them transformed into a vibrant tapestry of colors and sounds. The trees towered above them, their leaves a kaleidoscope of reds, oranges, and yellows, while the air was filled with the crisp scent of autumn. Jasper felt a thrill of excitement coursing through him. He had never imagined he would be exploring the wilderness with a bear cub by his side. Milo, emboldened by Jasper's presence, bounded ahead, his small paws padding softly on the forest floor. Jasper laughed, the sound echoing through the trees. as he watched the cub chase after a fluttering butterfly. It was a sight that filled him with warmth, a moment of pure joy that he wished could last forever. "Look at you go!" Jasper called out, his heart swelling with affection for the little creature. Milo paused, glancing back at Jasper with a playful glint in his eyes, as if inviting him to join the chase. Jasper sprinted after him, their laughter mingling with the rustling leaves, creating a symphony of happiness that resonated through the woods. As they continued their adventure, Jasper began to notice the subtle signs of the changing season. The air grew cooler, and the days were getting shorter. He felt a pang of worry. He knew he should return home before dark. But the thrill of exploration was too enticing to resist. Besides, he felt a strange sense of safety with Milo by his side. After a while, they stumbled upon a small clearing, where a crystal-clear stream bubbled over smooth stones. Jasper knelt beside the water, cupping his hands to take a drink. Milo, curious as ever, leaned down to investigate the stream, splashing water with his paws and sending droplets flying in all directions. "Careful, Milo," Jasper laughed, wiping his face dry. "You're going to get us both soaked." As the sun began to dip below the horizon, casting a warm golden glow over the clearing, Jasper felt a sense of peace wash over him. He pulled out his sketchbook and began to draw the scene before him, the vibrant colors of the trees, the playful cub, and the gentle flow of the stream. It was a moment he wanted to capture forever. But as he sketched, a sudden rustling in the bushes nearby broke the tranquility. Jasper's heart raced as he glanced up, instinctively moving closer to Milo. The cub, sensing Jasper's unease, stood alert, his ears perked up and his body tense. "Stay close, Milo," Jasper whispered, his voice barely audible. The rustling grew louder, and from the underbrush emerged a larger bear, a massive, imposing figure with a thick coat of fur and a fierce look in its eyes. Jasper's breath caught in his throat as he realized this was likely Milo's mother. The larger bear sniffed the air, its gaze locking onto Jasper and Milo. Panic surged through Jasper. He had heard stories of mother bears fiercely protecting their cubs, and he knew he had to act quickly. "Milo, we need to go," he urged, grabbing the cub's paw and pulling him back. But Milo, torn between his instinct to flee and his bond with Jasper, hesitated. The mother bear took a step forward, her growl rumbling through the clearing. Jasper's heart raced as he felt the weight of the situation. He had to protect Milo, but he also couldn't abandon him. "Milo, listen to me," Jasper said, his voice steady despite the fear coursing through him. "You have to go back to your mom. She's worried about you." The cub looked up at Jasper, confusion and fear in his eyes. Jasper knelt down, meeting Milo's gaze. "I'll be okay. Just go. I promise I'll find my way home." With a reluctant whimper, Milo turned and scampered back toward the bushes, glancing back at Jasper one last time. The mother bear watched, her expression softening as she recognized her cub. Jasper felt a pang of sadness as he watched them disappear into the underbrush. But he knew it was for the best. As the adrenaline began to fade, Jasper took a deep breath, trying to calm his racing heart. He had faced danger, but he had also made a choice that showed his bravery and love for the little bear. He stood up, brushing off his knees, and began to make his way back along the trail, the weight of the encounter heavy on his mind. The sun dipped lower in the sky, casting long shadows across the path. Jasper quickened his pace, eager to return home before darkness enveloped the forest. But as he walked, he couldn't shake the feeling of loss. He had formed a bond with Milo in such a short time, and now he felt an emptiness where that connection had been. As he navigated the winding trail, Jasper's thoughts drifted to his mother. Clara had always encouraged him to embrace his adventurous spirit. But he knew she would worry if he didn't return home soon. He picked up his pace, the crunch of leaves beneath his feet echoing in the stillness of the forest. Suddenly, a loud crash echoed through the trees, followed by a series of frantic rustles. Jasper froze, his heart pounding in his chest. He turned to see a group of hikers emerging from the trees, their faces filled with concern. One of them, a tall man with a rugged appearance, approached Jasper. "Hey, kid, are you lost?" the man asked, his voice laced with urgency. Jasper shook his head, trying to catch his breath. "No, I was just hiking. I saw a bear cub, and then I saw its mom." The man's expression shifted to one of understanding. "You did the right thing by leaving the cub. Mother bears can be very protective. You need to be careful out here." Jasper nodded, feeling a mix of pride and fear. He had faced a dangerous situation, but he had also made a choice that felt right. The other hikers gathered around, offering him water and snacks, their concern palpable. "Where's your family?" another hiker asked, scanning the area for any sign of Jasper's mother. "I need to get home," Jasper replied, glancing back down the trail. "I'll be okay. I can find my way." The tall man placed a reassuring hand on Jasper's shoulder. "We'll help you get back. It's not safe to be out here alone, especially as night falls." Reluctantly, Jasper agreed, knowing he needed their help. As they began to walk back together, he couldn't shake the feeling of longing for Milo. He had hoped to share his adventures with the little bear, to show him the beauty of the world beyond the forest. But now, all he could do was hope that Milo was safe with his mother. As they made their way through the trees, Jasper felt a sense of camaraderie with the hikers. They shared stories of their own adventures, laughter echoing through the woods. And for a moment, Jasper felt a sense of belonging. But in the back of his mind, he couldn't help but wonder if he would ever see Milo again. Finally, as they reached the edge of the forest, Jasper spotted the familiar outline of his home in the distance. Relief washed over him, but it was tinged with sadness. He had faced a challenge, but he had also left behind a friend. As he turned to thank the hikers, he felt a sudden rush of determination. "I'm going back," he declared, surprising even himself. "I have to find Milo." The hikers exchanged glances, concern etched on their faces. "It's getting dark, kid. You can't go back alone," the tall man warned. "I have to try," Jasper insisted, his heart set on reuniting with the bear cub. "I can't just leave him." With a sigh, the man nodded. "All right, but we'll come with you. We can't let you go back out there alone." As they turned back toward the forest, Jasper felt a surge of hope. He had faced fear and uncertainty, but he was determined to find Milo. The bond they had formed was too strong to ignore, and he knew he had to try. Together, they ventured back into the woods, the fading light casting long shadows around them. Jasper's heart raced with anticipation and fear, but he felt a sense of purpose guiding him. He would find Milo, no matter what it took. As Jasper and the group of hikers ventured deeper into the forest, the fading light painted the trees in shades of deep blue and purple. The air grew cooler, and the sounds of the forest shifted from the cheerful chirping of birds to the eerie silence that often accompanied twilight. Jasper's heart raced with a mix of excitement and anxiety. He had to find Milo. "Stay close," the tall man, whose name Jasper learned was Ethan, instructed as they navigated the winding path. The other hikers, a woman named Sarah and a younger boy named Liam, followed closely behind. Their expressions a mix of concern and determination. "Do you think we'll find him?" Liam asked, his voice barely above a whisper. "I hope so," Jasper replied, his voice steady despite the fear gnawing at his insides. "He's just a cub. He can't be far from his mom." as they moved further into the woods. Jasper recalled the clearing where he had first encountered Milo. He felt a pull toward that spot, a sense that it was where he needed to go. "This way," he called, leading the group off the main trail and toward the familiar path that led to the stream. The forest felt alive around them, shadows dancing in the dim light as the wind rustled the leaves overhead. Jasper's heart pounded in his chest, each step echoing his determination. He couldn't shake the image of Milo's innocent eyes, the way the cub had looked at him with trust and curiosity. He had to find him. As they approached the clearing, Jasper's breath caught in his throat. The stream bubbled softly, but the area was eerily quiet. "Milo," he called out, his voice breaking the stillness. "Milo, where are you?" The group fanned out, searching the area. Ethan scanned the trees, while Sarah and Liam peered into the underbrush. Jasper felt a knot of worry tighten in his stomach. What if he had lost Milo forever? What if the mother bear had taken him far away? "Jasper, are you sure this is where you saw him?" Ethan asked, concern etched on his face. "Yes, I'm sure," Jasper insisted, desperation creeping into his voice. "He was right here." Just then, a low growl echoed through the clearing, sending a chill down Jasper's spine. The hikers froze, their eyes wide with fear. From the shadows emerged the mother bear, her massive form silhouetted against the dimming light. Jasper's heart raced as he instinctively stepped back, but he couldn't abandon Milo. "Milo," he shouted again, his voice trembling. "I'm here. I'm looking for you." The mother bear stood protectively over a small mound of leaves, her eyes fixed on the group with a fierce intensity. Jasper felt a surge of panic. Had he put himself in danger by coming back? But then, from behind the mother bear, a small figure emerged. Milo. His fur ruffled and his eyes wide with surprise. "Milo!" Jasper cried, relief flooding through him. The cub hesitated, glancing between Jasper and his mother, who growled softly, warning him to stay close. Jasper took a cautious step forward, his heart pounding. "It's okay, buddy. I'm here." Milo took a tentative step toward Jasper, his small body trembling. The mother bear growled again, a low rumble that echoed through the clearing. Jasper felt a wave of fear wash over him, but he couldn't let it stop him. He had to reach Milo. "Please, just let him come to me," Jasper pleaded, his voice steady despite the fear coursing through him. "I won't hurt him. I promise." Ethan and the others watched in silence, their expressions a mix of awe and concern. The tension in the air was palpable as the mother bear continued to growl, her protective instincts flaring. Jasper took another step forward, his heart racing. "Milo, it's okay," he said softly, kneeling down to make himself smaller. "You can come to me. I'm your friend." The cub hesitated, glancing back at his mother, who remained tense and watchful. But then, as if sensing Jasper's sincerity, Milo took a few cautious steps forward, his small paws padding softly on the ground. The mother bear's growl softened slightly, but she remained vigilant. "Milo, come on," Jasper urged, his voice filled with encouragement. "You can do it." With a final glance at his mother, Milo broke into a run, darting toward Jasper. The moment their eyes met, Jasper felt a rush of joy. He reached out, and Milo leaped into his arms, nuzzling against him with a soft whimper. "See, I told you I'd find you," Jasper exclaimed, tears of relief streaming down his cheeks. The bond they had formed in such a short time felt unbreakable, and in that moment, nothing else mattered. But the mother bear was not ready to let her cub go. With a fierce growl, she stepped forward, her eyes locked onto Jasper. The hikers instinctively moved back, fear etched on their faces. Jasper felt the weight of the situation pressing down on him. He had to protect Milo, But he also had to respect the mother bear's instincts. "Please, I just want to keep him safe," Jasper said, his voice trembling as he held Milo close. "I promise I'll take care of him." The mother bear paused, her growl fading as she assessed the situation. Jasper could see the conflict in her eyes, her instinct to protect her cub battling with the realization that Milo was safe in Jasper's arms. Slowly, she relaxed her stance, though her watchful gaze remained fixed on the boy. "Milo, you need to go back to your mom," Jasper said softly, his heart aching at the thought of letting the cub go. "She loves you, and she's worried about you." Milo looked up at Jasper, confusion and fear swirling in his eyes. "But I don't want to leave you," he seemed to say with his gaze. "I know," Jasper replied, his voice breaking. "But you belong with her. You're a wild bear, and she needs you." With a heavy heart, Jasper gently placed Milo on the ground, stepping back to give the cub space. The mother bear watched intently, her expression softening as Milo hesitated, glancing between Jasper and his mother. "Milo, go to her," Jasper urged, his voice filled with emotion. "It's okay, I'll be all right." With a final, lingering look, Milo turned and scampered back to his mother, who nuzzled him affectionately. Jasper felt a pang of sadness as he watched the two bears reunite, but he also felt a sense of peace. He had done the right thing. As the mother bear and Milo moved back into the shadows of the forest, Jasper turned to Ethan and the others, his heart heavy but filled with a sense of accomplishment. He had faced his fears, made a difficult choice, and forged a bond that transcended the boundaries between species. "Let's get you home," Ethan said, placing a reassuring hand on Jasper's shoulder. "You've had quite the adventure today." Jasper nodded, wiping away his tears. "Yeah, I guess I have." As they made their way back through the forest, Jasper felt a sense of closure. He had learned the importance of bravery, trust, and the extraordinary connections that could form between humans and animals. Though he would miss Milo, he knew their bond would always remain in his heart. The sun dipped below the horizon, casting a warm glow over the trees as they emerged from the forest. Jasper took one last look back, hoping to catch a glimpse of Milo and his mother. But the woods were quiet, the only sound the rustling of leaves in the gentle breeze. "Goodbye, Milo," Jasper whispered, a smile breaking through his sadness. "Thank you for the adventure." As Jasper and the hikers emerged from the forest, the last rays of sunlight painted the sky in hues of orange and pink. The air was cool, and a gentle breeze rustled the leaves behind them, as if the forest itself was bidding them farewell. Jasper felt a mix of emotions swirling within him: relief, sadness, and a profound sense of growth. He had faced his fears and made a choice that had tested his courage, and now he was returning home, forever changed. "Are you okay, Jasper?" Sarah asked, her voice filled with concern as they walked along the dirt path leading back to town. Jasper nodded, though he could feel the weight of the day pressing down on him. "Yeah, I'm okay. I'll miss him." Liam, who had been walking quietly beside him, looked up with wide eyes. "You really cared about that bear, didn't you?" Jasper smiled softly, remembering the bond he had formed with Milo. He was just a little cub, but he felt like a friend. "I wanted to protect him." Ethan, walking ahead, glanced back at Jasper. "You did protect him, kid. You made the right choice. Not every kid would have the courage to do what you did." Jasper felt a swell of pride at Ethan's words, but it was tinged with sadness. He had let Milo go, and while he knew it was the right thing to do, it didn't make the ache in his heart any easier. The bond they had formed in such a short time was something he would carry with him forever. As they approached the edge of town, the familiar sights of home began to come into view. The quaint houses lined the streets, their windows glowing warmly in the evening light. Jasper's heart raced as he spotted his own home, a small cabin nestled among the trees. He could see his mother's silhouette moving around inside, and a wave of comfort washed over him. "Thanks for helping me get back," Jasper said, turning to the hikers. "I really appreciate it." "Anytime, kid," Ethan replied with a smile. "Just remember to be careful out there. The woods can be unpredictable." Jasper nodded, feeling grateful for their kindness. "I will. I promise." As they parted ways, Jasper made his way up the path to his cabin, his heart pounding with anticipation. He opened the door to find Clara in the kitchen, her back turned as she prepared dinner. The comforting smell of roasted vegetables filled the air, and Jasper felt a wave of warmth wash over him. "Jasper, you're home," Clara exclaimed, turning around with a smile that quickly faded into concern. "I was starting to worry." "You're late." "I'm sorry, Mom," Jasper said, his voice filled with sincerity. "I went hiking and I saw a bear cub." Clara's eyes widened in surprise. "A bear cub? Are you okay? Did you get hurt?" "I'm fine," he reassured her, holding up his hands. "But I had to help him. I found him in the woods, and then I saw his mom. It was really scary, but I made the right choice." Clara knelt down, looking into Jasper's eyes with a mixture of pride and worry. "I'm glad you're safe, but you have to be careful. The woods can be dangerous, especially with wild animals." "I know, Mom," Jasper replied, his heart swelling with the weight of his experience. "But it was amazing. I felt like I was part of something bigger. I made a friend." Clara smiled softly, brushing a strand of hair from Jasper's forehead. "You have a big heart, Jasper. Just remember that sometimes doing the right thing means letting go." Jasper nodded, feeling the truth of her words resonate within him. He had let go of Milo, but he had also gained something invaluable, a deeper understanding of bravery, compassion, and the bonds that connect all living beings. As they sat down for dinner, Jasper shared stories of his adventure, recounting the moments of joy and fear, the beauty of the forest, and the bond he had formed with the little bear. Clara listened intently, her eyes shining with pride as she watched her son come alive with excitement. After dinner, Jasper retreated to his room, his mind racing with thoughts of Milo. He pulled out his sketchbook, flipping through the pages until he found the drawing he had made of the clearing. The image of the stream, the trees, and the little bear cub leaped out at him, and he felt a pang of longing. "I hope you're okay, Milo," he whispered to himself, tracing the outline of the cub with his finger. "I'll never forget you." As night fell, Jasper lay in bed, staring up at the ceiling. The events of the day replayed in his mind, the thrill of adventure, the fear of danger, and the bittersweet moment of letting go. He felt a sense of peace wash over him, knowing that he had done the right thing. In the days that followed, Jasper found himself returning to the forest, though he was more cautious than before. He explored the trails, always keeping an eye out for signs of wildlife. But he never saw Milo again. Each time he ventured into the woods, he felt a mix of hope and sadness, longing for the little bear who had touched his heart. One afternoon, as he sat by the stream sketching the landscape, he heard a rustling in the bushes nearby. His heart raced as he turned, half expecting to see Milo. Instead, a family of deer emerged, their graceful forms moving silently through the trees. Jasper watched in awe, feeling a sense of connection to the wild creatures around him. "Maybe one day, I'll see you again, Milo," he whispered, his heart full of hope. "You'll always be my friend." As the weeks turned into months, autumn gave way to winter, and the forest transformed into a winter wonderland. Jasper continued to explore, finding joy in the beauty of the snow-covered landscape. He built snowmen, went sledding with friends, and even tried his hand at snowshoeing. But no matter how much fun he had, a part of him always felt a little empty without Milo. One snowy afternoon, while hiking along a familiar trail, Jasper paused to catch his breath. The world around him was silent, the only sound the crunch of snow beneath his boots. He closed his eyes, letting the cold air fill his lungs, and imagined Milo bounding through the snow, his playful spirit lighting up the winter landscape. Suddenly, a soft rustling caught his attention. Jasper opened his eyes, his heart racing as he turned to see a familiar figure emerging from the trees. It was Milo, now a bit larger and more confident, his dark fur contrasting against the white snow. Jasper's heart soared with joy. "Milo!" he shouted, his voice filled with excitement. The cub paused, looking at Jasper with recognition in his eyes. For a moment, they stood frozen in time, the bond they had formed rekindling in an instant. Milo bounded toward Jasper, his playful spirit shining through as he nuzzled against the boy's leg. Jasper knelt down, tears of joy streaming down his cheeks as he wrapped his arms around the bear cub. "I can't believe it, you're back." The two friends shared a moment of pure happiness, the world around them fading away as they reveled in their reunion. Jasper felt a sense of completeness wash over him, knowing that their bond had endured despite the distance and time apart. As they played in the snow, Jasper realized that the connection he had with Milo was something truly special. It was a reminder of the bravery it took to let go, the beauty of friendship, and the extraordinary bonds that exist between humans and animals. As the sun began to set, casting a warm golden glow over the snow-covered landscape, Jasper and Milo played together in the clearing. The world around them felt magical, the air crisp and filled with the laughter of a boy and the playful growls of a bear cub. Jasper couldn't believe his eyes. After all the uncertainty and longing, Milo had returned, and their bond felt stronger than ever. "Milo, I missed you so much," Jasper exclaimed, throwing a handful of snow into the air. The cub leaped and rolled in the snow, his playful spirit infectious. Jasper laughed, feeling a sense of joy that filled his heart to the brim. It was as if no time had passed since their last encounter, and the connection they shared was as vibrant as ever. As they played, Jasper reflected on the journey that had brought them to this moment. He thought about the fear he had faced when he first encountered Milo and the difficult choice he had made to let the cub return to his mother. It had been a moment of bravery, one that had taught him the importance of trust and the beauty of letting go. Now, seeing Milo again, he understood that true friendship transcends distance and circumstance. "Milo, you're so much bigger now," Jasper said, kneeling down to scratch the cub behind his ears. Milo leaned into the touch, his eyes sparkling with affection. "I can't believe you found your way back to me." The two spent the afternoon exploring the winter wonderland together. Jasper showed Milo how to slide down the small hills on his sled, and the cub watched with wide eyes, his curiosity piqued. After a few attempts, Milo joined in, tumbling down the hill with a joyful growl, sending snow flying everywhere. Jasper couldn't stop laughing, his heart swelling with happiness. As the sun dipped lower in the sky, painting the horizon in shades of pink and purple, Jasper knew it was time to head home. He felt a pang of sadness at the thought of leaving Milo, but he also understood that their friendship was not bound by time or place. "I have to go home now, but I'll come back tomorrow," he promised, looking into Milo's eyes. "We can have more adventures together." Milo tilted his head, as if he understood every word. Jasper felt a sense of peace wash over him. He had learned that true companionship meant being there for one another, even when apart. As he turned to leave, he glanced back at the cub, who stood watching him with a mix of curiosity and affection. "Goodbye for now, Milo," Jasper called, waving as he made his way back through the trees. "I'll see you soon." The walk home felt lighter, filled with the warmth of their reunion. Jasper couldn't wait to tell his mother about Milo's return. He knew Clara would be thrilled to hear that he had made a friend in the wild again. As he approached the cabin, the familiar sight of home brought a smile to his face. "Mom, you won't believe what happened." Jasper burst through the door, his excitement bubbling over. Clara looked up from the kitchen, her expression shifting from surprise to joy. "What is it, Jasper?" she asked, wiping her hands on a dish towel. "I saw Milo. He's back," Jasper exclaimed, his eyes shining with happiness. "He's grown so much, and we played in the snow together." Clara's face lit up with a smile. "That's wonderful, sweetheart. I'm so glad you got to see him again. It sounds like you had an amazing day." Jasper nodded vigorously, recounting every detail of their adventure. He shared how they had played in the snow, how Milo had tumbled down the hill, and how their bond felt as strong as ever. Clara listened intently, her heart swelling with pride for her son's adventurous spirit and the kindness he showed to the wild creatures around him. As night fell, Jasper lay in bed, the events of the day replaying in his mind. He felt a sense of fulfillment, knowing that he had not only found Milo again but had also learned valuable lessons about bravery, friendship, and the importance of letting go. He closed his eyes, a smile on his face, and drifted off to sleep, dreaming of the adventures that awaited him and Milo in the days to come. The next morning, Jasper awoke with the sun streaming through his window, illuminating his room in a warm glow. He quickly dressed and rushed downstairs, eager to return to the forest. Clara was already in the kitchen, preparing breakfast. "Good morning, Mom," Jasper said, his excitement bubbling over. "I'm going to see Milo again today." Clara smiled, her eyes twinkling with warmth. "That sounds wonderful, Jasper. Just remember to be careful and respect the wild. You never know what you might encounter out there." "I will, Mom. I promise," he replied, grabbing a quick bite before heading out the door. The forest welcomed him with open arms, the snow crunching beneath his boots as he made his way to the clearing. Jasper felt a sense of anticipation building within him. Would Milo be waiting for him? Would they continue their adventures together? As he reached the clearing, his heart raced with excitement. But as he looked around, he felt a moment of uncertainty. The clearing was empty, the only sound the gentle rustle of the wind through the trees. Jasper's heart sank for a moment, but he quickly reminded himself that Milo was a wild creature, and he might be exploring the forest on his own. "Milo," he called out, his voice echoing through the trees. "Where are you?" Just then, a familiar rustling caught his attention. Jasper turned to see Milo emerging from the trees, his dark fur contrasting beautifully against the white snow. The cub bounded toward him, his playful spirit shining through as he nuzzled against Jasper's leg. "Hey, buddy," Jasper laughed, kneeling down to embrace his friend. "I'm so glad to see you." The two spent the day exploring the winter landscape, their laughter echoing through the trees. They built snow forts, chased each other through the snow, and shared moments of pure joy. Jasper felt a sense of belonging, knowing that he had found a true friend in the wild. As the sun began to set, casting a warm glow over the forest, Jasper and Milo sat side by side, watching the colors dance across the sky. In that moment, Jasper understood the beauty of their bond, the connection that transcended words and species. "Milo, you're my best friend," Jasper said softly, looking into the cub's eyes. "I'll always be here for you, no matter what." Milo leaned against him, a soft growl rumbling in his throat, as if to say he felt the same. Jasper smiled, knowing that their friendship was something extraordinary, an unbreakable bond, forged in the heart of the wilderness. As they made their way back home, Jasper felt a sense of hope and wonder. He had learned that true bravery meant facing fears, that love could bridge the gap between species, and that the bonds we form with others, human or animal, can change our lives in profound ways. With Milo by his side, Jasper knew that every adventure would be filled with laughter, joy, and the promise of new discoveries. Together, they would explore the beauty of the world, forging a friendship that would last a lifetime. And as the stars began to twinkle in the night sky, Jasper felt a sense of peace wash over him. He had found his place in the world, and it was right there in the heart of the forest, alongside his beloved bear cub. Thanks for joining us on this journey with our furry champions. If you enjoyed this heartwarming story, don't forget to subscribe to Furry Champions. Hit that like button and share with friends to spread the love for our furry friends. We'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments. Until next time, celebrate the amazing bond between humans and animals. See you in the next video.